Crawford beats Canelo to take super middleweight title. As it happened, that's a wrap. Our coverage of a thrilling boxing card is ending now. Thanks for joining us as Terence Crawford beat Canelo Alvarez by unanimous decision to become the undisputed super middleweight champion. Al Jazeera will be back soon with more live sporting action. But for now, it's goodbye from Patrick Keddy and Andrew Semple. Crawford moving up 2 weight classes makes win more impressive. The most impressive thing about Crawford's win was that he moved up 2 weight classes to beat Canelo, Antonio Tarver said. That is a rarity. I think he's the only guy in the world that could have done that, with his skill set, he said. You don't find too many fighters jumping up and being successful like that. Crawford seemed like he was playing chess all night. Crawford was always 1 or 2 steps ahead of Canelo, former light heavyweight champ Antonio Tarver tells Netflix. Terence Crawford seemed like he was playing chess all night. He was 1 or 2 steps ahead of Canelo, with his combination punches, he said. I wanted to see Canelo use his power and speed, but it was like he didn't diversify his attack at all. Crawford was too smart, so when he got out in front, he cruised. He knew how to stay ahead. Crawford defies history. Boxing journalist Mark Kriegel says Canelo fought well but was outclassed by a better fighter. Crawford has shown he is as good as he imagines himself to be. He's as good as he believed himself to be, he told Netflix. This was a rebuke to promoters who didn't promote him adequately, to promoters who didn't furnish him with worthy opponents, for guys who didn't want to fight him, for guys who doubted him. This was a very explicit rebuke across the whole distance of his career, going back to attitudes towards his hometown of Omaha. This was for everybody there. And he has used that chip on his shoulder, and now this is the crowning moment. He wasn't the A side tonight, he was the B side. He was the older fighter, he was the naturally smaller fighter. So he did not just make history, he defied it. Crawford matador to Canelo's bull, says Antonio Tarver. Former light heavyweight champ Antonio Tarver tells Netflix that he had said before the fight that if Canelo let Crawford get into his groove, it was going to be the matador and bull type situation, which is how it transpired. Can Canelo come back and be the champion that he was? We don't know, but there's still a lot of great fights out there for him, he said. Crawford did what he said he was going to do. He fought strategically all night. He had focus, because 1 lapse and he could have been easily knocked out by Canelo. I feel great to share the ring with a great fighter like him. Canelo suggests he would be open to a rematch. I feel great to share the ring with a great fighter like him. If we do it again, it's going to be great, he says, speaking in English. But I already accomplished a lot in boxing. My legacy is already there. And I insist on taking risks 'cause I love boxing. Canelo says he still feels strong and undiminished as a fighter and instead pays tribute to Crawford's skill. He ends by shouting, "Viva Mexico cabrones!" Canelo says he took a risk but feels like a winner in defeat. Canelo says he feels great despite the loss and then pays tribute to his supporters in Spanish. I'm a winner for being here. There was no defeat here. The fact that I'm here already makes me a winner, he says through a translator. I've done everything in my career. I always take risks, and that's what I did. Canelo vs. Crawford, round 12, the final round, and both men touch gloves in a mark of respect before embarking on a fight. Canelo throws some brutal shots, which Crawford takes on the gloves. Crawford fires back a back left counter to a Canelo attack, but this time the Mexican shakes his head as he steps to the side. Canelo barrels in again and again, looking for a knockout, but Crawford is standing his ground well, though. Into the last minute, the crowd volume ratchets up as they exchange flurries of shots. Crawford knocks Canelo off balance with a big left. He staggers backwards and then renews his offensive. In the last 10 seconds, it's Crawford that lands the better shots, a solid left and a strong jab. Both men raise their hands as the bell goes, but we will go to the judges to get the decision. Canelo vs. Crawford, round 12, the final round, and both men touch gloves in a mark of respect before embarking on a fight. Canelo throws some brutal shots, which Crawford takes on the gloves. Crawford fires back a back left counter to a Canelo attack, but this time the Mexican shakes his head as he steps to the side. Canelo barrels in again and again, looking for a knockout, but Crawford is standing his ground well, though. Into the last minute, the crowd volume ratchets up as they exchange flurries of shots. Crawford knocks Canelo off balance with a big left. He staggers backwards and then renews his offensive. In the last 10 seconds, it's Crawford that lands the better shots, a solid left and a strong jab. Both men raise their hands as the bell goes, but we will go to the judges to get the decision. Canelo versus Crawford, round 11, 2 rounds left, and Canelo may well need a stoppage here. He starts with a beautiful body shot. Crawford immediately responds with a forceful uppercut. He's been able to respond and more when Canelo attacks, and he wins another exchange that began with a Canelo attack and ended with a flurry of Crawford punches to the Mexican's head. Canelo lands a big right to Crawford's jaw, the biggest test of his chin so far, and he takes it. Another big straight right hand from Canelo gets through. He's had a good round. Crawford dances along the ropes and fires back whenever Canelo presses. Canelo versus Crawford, round 10. Canelo's corner warns him he has only 3 rounds left as they demand more from their fight. Crawford's corner thinks he's up, but they know Canelo remains dangerous. Canelo throws a good left, but Crawford answers with his smart left. Then the Mexican looks for a big overhand left, but Crawford sees it all day long and blocks, then throws a looping left, which Canelo evades. Crawford